But this one looks unthrowable. I'm not gonna lie. Nice culling, well played by Fnatic, good response. This one is unthrowable. Unthrowable!
In control of this game.
Surely, right?
Has that turret aggro.
Nah. This ain't losable.
Right, if you can just catch caps, it doesn't really matter.
This ain't losable.
Fnatic able to make that pick work.
This ain't losable.
Starting to move up once more. They will reset. As you're gonna have Dragon in 20 seconds.
Maestral's caught it! Maestral's caught it! No! 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 Not again! No! No! They're getting a Barony round, Mike! No! No! They're gonna lose Baron again! Again! How? How? No! Oh my god.
I mean, what do you say at this stage? Fnatic again stumble past the 20-minute mark.
I'm done.
Giving G2.
Okay, for now, Caps.
How? How? It's over! It's over! It's over! It's actually lost! It's actually lost! There's no... No! No! You can't be real! This can't be real! This can't be real! It can't be real! This can't be real!
G2 recently beat Fnatic to win the LEC Summer Playoffs with a 3-0 game score. But in all 3 games, Fnatic started with an early game lead, only to throw it away every single time. So in this video, let's break down Fnatic's playstyle to see exactly how they accumulate massive early game leads, but often throw them away. And by cleaning up their weaknesses, we shall see if Fnatic gets revenge on G2 in the season finals. One thing Fnatic fans know all too well is that Fnatic is very, very aggressive, and many times, this aggression rewards them beautifully. For example, in this teamfight against GX, Humanoid flies in with Weaver's Wall and instantly deletes Nami. And then Noah flies into GX's backline with Kai'Sa ult, and Humanoid complements this aggression by flashing forward, allowing Noah and Humanoid to kill all of GX's carries. Fnatic fans also know that their players are the complete opposite of KDA players. They are always willing to put their lives at risk for a winning teamfight, such as Oscar dealing huge damage before dying so that his team can get an ace. But sometimes, Fnatic is too aggressive when they don't need to be. This causes their games to be extremely volatile, with their aggression being the reason for their gold leads, but also the reason for their massive throws. And in the grand finals against G2, Fnatic's unhealthy obsession with being aggressive cost them the Summer Championship. One of Fnatic's biggest weaknesses is cutting corners. This is demonstrated by unnecessary face checking, not getting vision, and not getting mid prio, all of which are fundamental strategies during the mid to late game. An example of cutting corners is in Game 1, when Fnatic have a 3k gold lead at 20 minutes. They also have more dragons and more void grubs than G2, so by all measures they are ahead. Here, Fnatic takes a reset, and to see Han Sama getting mid prio, Caps pushing top, and Mickey placing deep wards in their jungle. So in this situation, many teams would recognize that they are behind in tempo, and slowly push mid and regain control of their jungle. However, Jun doesn't respect that his laners are behind on tempo. It's true that G2 have reset, and that Jun has every right to aggressively regain vision. But he looks to make a play on Caps, which is just not possible with how little mid-prio Fnatic has. Jun thinks he caught out Caps, but it's actually Jun who nearly dies to Caps. This throws away all the tempo that Fnatic could have gained while G2 was resetting. And now that G2 is arriving back onto the map, Fnatic essentially forfeited their map prio, and they give up mid-tier 1 tower and their blue buff as a result. In Game 2, Fnatic find themselves with a healthy gold lead once again, and they are first to Dragon. Fnatic engage on Mickey and kill him immediately, but this engage was hasty once again because it's a temporary 4v5 where Oscar hasn't arrived yet. As a result, Fnatic lose Jun for a 1-for-1 trade. And once Oscar arrives, G2 recognizes immediately that Fnatic has over-indexed on river prio. All Fnatic members are in the river, thereby exposing their mid-outer tower. So G2 makes the excellent shot-calling decision to give up Dragon for 2 turrets, which could have been prevented if Fnatic played this Dragon setup slowly, and have Oscar TP flank from mid, and the rest of Fnatic lure G2 into the river. This would play perfectly into Fnatic's win condition, with Renekton being a backline threat. But instead, Fnatic played hyper aggro and jumped on Mickey when it felt right, instead of slowly squeezing G2 into uncomfortable positions. As a result, G2 got 2 turrets, each of which has objective bounties on them. In Game 3, Fnatic has an even more massive gold lead, and they are looking to dive top to further extend it. But seeing that Hans Sama has already rotated to prevent the dive, most teams would shove out mid and punish Hans Sama for missing farm. But Fnatic doesn't care, and they go for the dive anyways. To make matters worse, Jun misses his flash Leona ult onto Yike that would have meant nothing anyways because nobody is close enough to follow up. And with 6 Void Grubs, Fnatic could have very easily killed the turret before diving Yike. But once again, Humanoid is also too antsy, and he immediately hits Yike only to be zoned by Zara ult, forcing him to flash to safety. And Humanoid is immediately punished by Hans and Mickey. Noah and Caps are both walking top, but Noah arrives first to salvage the failed dive. And he manages to kill Mickey, then Caps chases down Razork, and Noah gets a double kill on Yike. But since Fnatic started with a 7k gold lead, a 2-for-2 trade is not worth it at all from Fnatic. They were way too eager to dive when they could have either called off the dive and pressured mid turret instead, or simply killed the top outer turret first before diving Yike. All of these small adjustments seem very fundamental, and I'm sure these are quick fixes that Fnatic's coaching staff can teach before the season finals. In the mid to late game, Fnatic often struggles to play to the win conditions, and instead, they rely too much on mechanical outplays to close out games. It is this type of macro shot calling that allows G2 to shine in the late game and claw their way back from early game gold deficits. In Game 1 of the Grand Finals, Fnatic has a 2k gold lead at 22 minutes, and they see Broken Blade clearing bot wave while Oscar is still top. With a 1.4k gold lead between top laners, Fnatic's win condition is to pressure G2 to have Broken Blade match Oscar in a split push, especially because Renekton excels in 1v1s while Kennen excels at teamfights. Furthermore, in this double ADC poke meta, starting an objective is much worse than before, because the opposing team can poke you down while your team is grouped. So theoretically, it is in neither team's best interest to start Dragon. But when Caps TP's mid, G2 reveals their intention of fighting a Dragon, so now, Fnatic can squeeze G2 and make them start Dragon while Oscar is split pushing. And for a brief moment, that's exactly what they do. Humanoid is pushing mid, suggesting that Fnatic don't mind giving up Dragon. Broken Blade is even thinking of basing to match Oscar. But Oscar relieves all the tension on the map, and TPs the Dragon without G2 even threatening it. This is a huge mistake from Fnatic, because they throw away their map state advantage and are not playing to the win con. Look at how torn G2 are, with Caps clearing mid and Broken Blade looking for a safe spot to base. But now that Oscar arrived, Broken Blade is relieved and he sets up a flank angle on Kennen, while G2 look to poke and bait Fnatic into starting Dragon. Oscar does manage to jump on and stun Broken Blade, but Noah fails to connect his Jhin W. And with Jhin ult bringing Kennen down to half HP, Fnatic revert to their over-aggressive tendencies. Jun flash engages, and Razork and Humanoid flash forward as well to double down on the aggression. Fnatic get a kill on Mickey, but they are very out of position, and Hans Sama calmly punishes Humanoid with Ezreal poke. While Fnatic does eventually secure Dragon, I think that this 2-for-2 trade could have been so much better for Fnatic if they squeezed their map advantage even more. Later the same game, Fnatic has caught Mickey, and they are looking to convert their 5v4 into a Baron. But G2 does not make it easy for them, and Fnatic has to spend time regaining vision control of Baron even with a one-man advantage. And don't forget, in this poke meta, regaining vision and starting objectives is very costly, so the best macro play for Fnatic will be to run it down mid and encourage G2 to start Baron and punish them with Zyra, Lucian, and Jhin poke. But this is not what Fnatic does, and they insist on fighting for vision, and they get punished for it. Han Sama does a beautiful job punishing Fnatic's lack of vision, and he gets Q after Q for every inch Fnatic walks forward. And Caps does a similar job on Corki of poking and kiting. So the cost of just walking into the river is Oscar and Razork being taken to half HP. Was this worth it for Fnatic? I would say absolutely not. And once Noah roots Yike with Jin W, Fnatic lose all self-control, and they go all in to kill Yike. But in the meantime, Han Sama remains unchecked and lands Q after Q after Q. And now, nearly all Fnatic members are below half HP, and we see that Broken Blade TP'd all the way at Raptors just to chase Fnatic. And once Han Sama's True Shot Barrage pokes down Fnatic to critically low HP, and see Broken Blade crossing mid lane, they start to wonder, was face checking worth it? Was killing Yike worth it? With the help of Cloud Rift, Broken Blade quickly gets in position for a flank, and he goes for a big brain cannon ult just on Noah, so that he can't be punished by the rest of Fnatic. And when Noah flashes backwards, Fnatic are seriously cornered. Fnatic try to force their way towards their base, but Han Sama picks off Noah with Flash EQ, and Caps also picks off Razork with Corki rockets. This deadly slow chase from G2 is a testament to their patient and well thought out macro, compared to the impatient and short-sighted aggression from Fnatic. In this clip, both teams are A-ramming, but Fnatic notices that Han Sama is slightly out of position. So Fnatic goes all in to punish Han Sama with Razork flashing forward and rooting him, Jun using Solar Flare, and Humanoid using Culling. But Han Sama instantly cleanses and gets away with 1/3 HP. Caps then makes a silly blunder and falls, leaving Fnatic with a man advantage and much healthier members than G2. So naturally, Fnatic should go to Baron, which should be relatively free. But as we shall see once again, Fnatic is punished by their own aggression in starting objectives against a poke comp. Fnatic melts Baron down to 1/3 HP, but Razork doesn't have Smite, so it seems like Fnatic is using Baron as a way to force a fight. Joan and Razork are lurking on the side, and Oscar, Humanoid, and Noah are in the Baron pit, ready to jump across the wall and go aggressive on G2. But what Fnatic fails to realize is that this playstyle just won't work in this poke meta. If this was an Azir meta, Vi Ahri meta, the Sandra meta, then yes, using Baron to turn on your opponents would be good. But when your comp is a bunch of poke champions, and Baron shreds your armor and MR, and Jhin and Brand can poke you from afar, you are at a serious disadvantage when looking to use Baron to force a fight. Nonetheless, Oscar is ready to jump on Fnatic, but he eats so much poke from Jhin and Brand that he simply dies in the Baron pit. Jun then engages onto G2, but he is alone because of Broken Blade's beautiful 3-man Ornn ult, followed by another 3-man knockup. Broken Blade then gets a solo kill on Humanoid, while Jun is left out to dry. And once again, Fnatic were punished at Baron by their own aggression, and it's G2 who gets the free Baron. After all of these major throws, Fnatic spiral into panic mode. Here, Oscar and Humanoid are very overextended and they get punished by G2. Noah in particular looked very tiltable and he got caught out on Ezreal. Such as here, when his teammates are looking to retreat and he arcane shifts forward. G2 then immediately punishes Noah with Ornn ult and Jhin ult. As well as in this clip, when Noah arcane shifts forward towards Caps and doesn't even hit Caps. It's absolutely heartbreaking to know that this was a championship defining teamfight. Fnatic just rolled over and crumbled to their inner demons. Fnatic has shown in the upper bracket finals that they have the ability to beat G2, and in the grand finals, they demonstrated even stronger early games, but they failed to convert these leads into wins. And for Fnatic fans, there is a bright side to all this. The most crucial element of being a good team is already there, which is aggression. It is now up to the coaching staff to instill patience and discipline in their players, to know when to take a step back and cleanly convert their early game leads into victories. Too often, Fnatic overcomplicates the game state and they make unnecessarily risky plays. Instead, Fnatic must learn when to trade objectives and learn how to squeeze and checkmate their opponents with clean macro. Because it is this difference in macro that separates G2 from Fnatic, not a difference in aggression. Do you think Fnatic will get revenge on G2 in the LEC season finals? What else do you think Fnatic can improve on? Let me know in the comments. If you like analytical content like this, please hit the like and subscribe button for more. I also have a Discord server where you can chat with me and other analytical viewers. The link is in the description below. Take care and see you in the next video.